Hello everyone, it's Sebastian, aka ScrubX for PokerVIP.com, and today I'm here with my third part of my 4-part video series on Guts Poker. You probably have seen the first 2 parts if you got to this one. So without further ado, let's jump right into the action. We could protect. I'm actually gonna. I don't know. I think a fish just has a lot of high cuts here basically, and not a lot of one pairs that beat me. So I'm just gonna protection bet here and slash value. Maybe he calls like king high sometimes or something like that. We're obviously gonna check that. Okay, gonna fold. Quite easily with like 4th pair or whatever we had there. Turn is like we can check back again. But I like getting some protection there. As said, you probably have seen the other parts. If you want to have more information about the site, go check out part 1. There I talk a bit more in depth about the site specifics. Today we're going to focus on the strategy part. I'm going to isolate a perceived weaker player here with a relatively okay hand. Not really the best hand in these early positions, but given he limps and is not full stacked, I want to play a pot with him. And generally this hand does fairly well if it gets top pair, which we didn't this time. The pocket 7s I'm just gonna check fold on the spot. The king jack on the spot I'm just gonna check back hop to turn some additional equity or like top pair. That's pretty good. If he leads turn, no he doesn't. We're just gonna bet relatively big. Just gonna try to get maximum value out of a perceived weaker player. If he has like any sort of one pair he's not gonna fold at this point, he might not even fold any ace high and whatnot, so just trying to collect some value there. Easy fold of the 10-8 off UTG. Easy fold of the 3-6 even for a min open. Jack 7 is usually not going to get opened, only if I have specific reads, which I don't, given you can't use a HUD on microgaming, cash games, and especially not on the anonymous tables. Min, fish, in position, I'm going to defend pretty liberally. 3-6 is going to be in that liberal range. On the flop I'm probably going to float 1. Even though he's short and that kind of hinders us getting value. Yeah, I'm just going to stab here. Like I don't expect the fish to fold a lot here, but we have a gut shot with a backdoor flush draw. We have 6 high. Let's just try to take the pot down. If he check calls and on the board pairing turn, I don't expect to have any fold equity whatsoever, so I'm just going to check back and realize. If he leads, well, he's going to fold. He should obviously not lead here. Good for us that he does though, because shows that he's a weaker player. And with the rabbit card hunt we even saw that we wouldn't have hit the weather anyways, so whatever. I mean I wouldn't have barrel returned anyways, I would have checked back and I would have lost the pot. Because I probably wouldn't have bluffed anyways on any river. Just gonna not give a fish credit to fold a pair there. Basically it. Another shorty who is limping. Let's instantly attack him. And hope to get into some hands. Pocket kings. That could be fun. Hoping the fish opens. Gonna obviously 3-bet. Another short stack behind. Gonna 3-bet to 140, 135 seems like. Given the stack depth, we want to go smaller because he's so short. And we're gonna actually go pretty small here, giving the guys behind a chance to come over the top or cold call. And because we're so short stacked, we really don't need to 3-bet big here at all. And we're in position, so we're gonna 3-bet relatively small, and he still folds, which is a bit of a sad result. Jack high is just gonna go into showdown mode. Now we are playing the board. Not gonna bluff, he's never gonna fold a better hand, and he probably doesn't even fold the chop, so let's just take a chop. Yeah. King 3, one weaker player behind. We could open this, it's pretty borderline. Just gonna fold. If there were two weaker players behind, I would open it, but with only one, I'm gonna not open it. Hoping to get some dice. Let's just look at our hand that gets played here. Okay. So check flop, he leads turn, and then he checks over. That's kind of weird. So I guess he's giving up. He probably has like nothing here, and this guy probably has a pair. I mean, ace 10 wins somehow, so no idea what he has. I guess queen high and gave up, or took his showdown. The ace jack suited gonna see a flop, more than likely. Even if he 3-bets, I'm gonna come along for the cold 4-bet, and if he folds, I'm gonna just 3-bet the send for value. Whereas the cutoff range ace jack suited is definitely doing well enough to go for a 3-bet. Even the opposite variant could get 3-bet. We can also flat it. It's not a crime to flat there, but I like to 3-bet. I like to take pots down pre-flop. Pocket queens, getting some good hands. Good for us, good for the video. UTG open. Gonna be a 3-bet. If someone 3-bets, we're gonna call 4-bet. Go on 3-bet to 180. If he decides to 4-bet, we're just gonna flat. Take a pot in position. Maybe this guy with like 15 blinds. No. I mean, we just 3-bet him before. I think it was this player as well. Player 4. So yeah, we're definitely not gonna fold to him. Okay, get another fold. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. 7-3, easy fold. 10-5, easy fold. Not a whole lot to say here. Just some pretty trivial folds. Actually quite a lot of tables running for the time. Is Blaze Poker, so like the Zoom Poker, ever running? No, only the 2NL format. That's kind of sad. I'd like to play some Zoom. But sadly we can't on this side. Maybe eventually the Zoom tables will flop. I mean, they have Zoom, just no one is playing it for whatever reason, really. Like, I guess there are not enough players, but at the same time, I don't know. It seems weird that no one is playing Zoom. Because it's like generally a pretty, I would guess, even for the fishes, quite liked form of poker. Deuce 5 easy fold, 7-5. I mean, couldn't really margin when you open this at MP, but it's just a bit too trashy, honestly. 7-6 suited would get open, so it's not that far-fetched to open the 7-5 suited variant, but it's a bit too weak. King 5 for min. I would generally advise you to fold this due to rake. The overcut undercut plays extremely bad, one of the worst equity realization hands in the game. So that's what I'm gonna do. Make a non-theory tight fold due to rake and due to the playability just being so poor. Like, I would rather have like 3-5 suited there than king 5 off, for that matter, just because of like the implied odds, the domination, the equity realization. And you just don't really flop a lot of king 5. I mean, even if you flop top pair, they have a lot of better top pairs, and you're usually going to lose at least 2 streets in those situations. So even on like your kind of best flops, it's really not that good, because like, yeah, it's quite dominated hand and generally not pretty good. So pocket 9 is pretty easy open. If someone 3-bets, we are going to probably call and see a flop, hoping to blink a 9 like here. That's a bad flop for my hand, good flop for my range. Could start with a 1/3, could check back. Both options are fine. Versus a fishier player, I'm gonna start with a 1/3 bet here for protection value and just as a bit of a range play. Pocket 4 is gonna be an open. I mean, the pocket 9s still beat all the 5, 6, 7s, 4s, 8s, which a weaker player probably calls here. And I mean, it's not even that outrageous to call them. Just generally weaker players do those kind of sticky calls. King 8 probably gonna defend. Pocket 4s if he 3-bets we're probably gonna call depending on sizing. It's pretty marginal. Jack 7, easy fold. King 8, the suitedness makes his hand way better than the... I'm not gonna isolate this, there's like not a lot of value in isolating this. Just gonna go ahead and see a flop. Flop 2 pair. Gonna go ahead and raise it if he c-bets. Let me take a sip of water because my throat is getting a bit dry. I'm just gonna raise up here for value and protection. Come on. Okay. Any spade that folds is a relatively okay result. If he has like deuce 3 with the 3 of spades and he folds that, he folds a big chunk of equity still. And we obviously can get value. Upper left table lagging a bit? It's just, oh no, it's because this guy is deciding to realize. See. And he leads again. Easy value bets. Kinda easy over to 4-5. Easy value raise. Gonna treat his lead here more as a check than a bet. Easily can get paid by 1 spade hands and easily can get paid by an ace. Quite obviously. The Jack 7 I don't have to open, I can fold, it's marginal. Jack 8 would be an open. Let's just open it due to getting into spots potentially. It's fine. It's like not really a dream scenario, but I would open Jack 8 close to every time. So Jack 7 is kind of, and we get punished for it. Rip. Insta folding. Never doing anything with the Jack 7. Just part of our folding range, which is fine. You're gonna just have a few hands that will always be in your folding range, and it's totally fine. Nothing wrong with that. Can't compete for every pot, can't fight for every blind in the middle, and you don't have to. And that might seem trivial, but a lot of people kind of have that feeling of having to fight for every pot. Always having to protect their raise in terms of like not folding the 3-bets and like never getting bluffed, right? I mean the fear of getting bluffed is like so big, but it's totally fine to sometimes get bluffed. I mean, it's like if you're beat 90% of the time and 10% of the time he has a bluff, then you would still always want to fold if you knew that for a fact, right? You obviously don't know that for a fact, but yeah, the goal of poker is not to achieve to never get bluffed or never lose pots. If that's your mindset, should rethink that mindset. The Queen 10 offsuited gonna be an easy fold. With the suited variant, we could 3-bet or flat, sometimes fold. Kind of depends. 7-10 easy fold. Let's just spectate this. I think this guy led the flop, not exactly sure. No, I guess he opened. No, I think he led the flop actually. Okay, so he gets raised here. Pretty nutted raise usually means, I would say, jacks at the very least. I don't even think Jack 10 suited is raising in general. And jacks might not even raise. And he clicks it back non-shove, which is even more nutted. So this guy probably has, I would assume, a flush. This guy maybe a straight or like a set. Maybe it's a flush of a flush situation. He shouldn't really have a... I mean, he could have a flat, I guess, if he has like a queen with the ace of hearts or something. But then might be inclined to shove anyways. He just folds, so he folds there. Maybe he raised hand like Jack 10, which would be pretty bad because of that reason, right? You would just want to call down Jack 10 there. But that's like King Jack, that's like, I guess, the most likely hand he had there. Ace 4, pretty easy fold at MP. Not a lot to say about it. Deuce 9, never gonna see a flop approximately. Approximately gonna hit 0 flops in a good way. 4 deuce, not gonna see a flop. 4-8, not gonna see a flop. And it's kind of like the theme of regular tables. You're just gonna fold a lot. Deuce 6, just gonna fold. So he opens the cutoff, checks the board, which, okay, he pots it. Could mean a lot. Pocket tens, we'll see. Yeah, gonna 3-bet, and if he 4-bets, pocket tens gonna 3-bet, gonna c-bet the flop. Not sure what sizing to pick. Sorry, I got a bit distracted by something in real life and might have heard it. There's a fish. I'm just gonna see bet half pot here for value and protection. Definitely a lot of hands that can give us value. With the jack 10, just gonna call, see a flop, miss it. Get called with the tens. Ace is not the turn we wanted to see. Not only because we are sometimes beat on it, but if he has a worse hand, that hand is far less likely to give us action now. So we're gonna start by checking back and potentially value bet river. That's a pretty good river. And as he's a fish, he might even lead. Yeah, he might have a higher distribution of ace-x than other people would. Just gonna fold to jack 10, not sure why I'm tanking so long there. I'm thinking about what sizing to raise here. Should I just shove it? There's 9 in, so I would shove for about 2x pot. If he has ace 4 6s or like even 4 5, he's probably gonna reshove over my raise. So I'm gonna rather target like his ace-x, like ace queen, which I'm probably not gonna call a shove. So I'm just gonna raise to a smaller sizing here, trying to get action by like ace queen. If he shoves, we're obviously gonna call. So he doesn't appear to have had a bluff, so I guess he had the ace. Can't really see what he had, sadly. But I'm gonna go ahead and assume it was the ace. Which I doubt he calls if we shove, but maybe he stubbornly calls ace queen anyways. Kinda hard to say, honestly. With this fish overcalling with the fish in the BB, I'm gonna also overcall. And gonna flop the 5. No, okay, moving on. Generally would fold in this situation, but given 2 fishes in, or 1 fish definitely involved and 1 fish potentially being involved, we do want to see a flop. Check 3, gonna go into the muck. Yeah, the pocket tens, kind of interesting in terms of river sizing. We did get called, so guess we got value. And it just, what hands call the shove anyways that are worse, that are not gonna reshove over our raise. So pocket 6 is always gonna reshove. Ace 4 is, I would assume, always gonna reshove. So we lose potential value with like 4 5 suited. It's like the only hand I can think of that might not reshove, but you know, would call a shove. And like hand like ace queen, is that really gonna call a shove? I would need some further reads to be sure about him calling shove to ace queen. So I think my middling sizing there, like, I mean, I still went rather big, like more than 3x his lead. Probably got the maximum. Ace queen on ace jack 9. Just gonna see bet. He's a weaker player, so I'm not gonna see bet too small. Just gonna see bet half pot. While my voice is fading a bit, just gonna let me take another sip of water. Pocket 8 is gonna be an easy open. I'm gonna just keep on betting my. Yeah. Keep on betting my ace here. Pretty good ace. All weak aces can call. All jack X can call. Even if we get raised, the cool thing about this hand is even if we get raised, we can easily call raise because we have the nut flush as well. We're not betting because we have the nut flush, we bet all our ace queen combinations, but it's more comfortable to bet there than because we have more equity. And if you get raised, you can easily call. The pocket 8's gonna check back in a 3-way situation here with third pair. Jack 8 versus a weaker player, min open. With a weaker player behind, I'm actually gonna flat. Would usually not do this, but in this formation, min raise. Weaker player who raises, weaker player behind, we're actually gonna call. And gonna probably check off flop and just gonna check down the pocket eights. Trying to reach showdown. Yep, he pots it, which is really annoying, but I'm still gonna call him. I can easily turn a jack, an 8, a heart, a 9, a 10. Gonna fold you even for this min, I think. I'm just too beat and we still have a player behind. With the, I mean, I have so many better hands that can call here. Like any pair with a diamond is better than pocket eights. Like even fours with a diamond is way better than just pocket eights here. Just gonna check the jack 8, hope he snap checks back, and then I'm probably gonna bluff pitch river. Yeah, I'm probably gonna block pitch river. I do block 8 to 10. Nothing else really improved, so his king queens miss, queen 10 misses. If you randomly see that pocket 3s or like deuces or something like that, that misses. Sure, if he has pocket 9s, that's unlucky. We do block 8 10 as said, we do block jack 9, 7 9, ace 9. I mean, I don't think ace 9 snap checks back turn. So versus a weaker player, I think he's way too wide here. He could show then like king 5 offsuited. We're just gonna station here. Sure, we're sometimes beat, but are we beat more than 25% of the time? I doubt that. Indeed. Wow. What the flying fuck? Was he value betting? I guess. What? How does that? What? And that's the bizarre thing. Like, if he does that, maybe he also bets like jack 8 or like 10 9. 6 7 gonna defend here in position. Pretty marginal. Could fold it. Yeah, and that's like the thing in the jack 8, and he just randomly bets that on the river while he really can't get value there. I mean, I have like the rare hand, which I usually don't even have in my range, which can call him, which is worse by 1 notch. I mean, that's pretty outrageous. I mean, I'm not even sure if he would, like, he might not even be sure by himself whether he was bluffing or value betting there. Even for pot, we're gonna call the open ender, given the cleanness of our outs. Like, if we hit, it's gonna be the nuts. And there's like no real reverse implied outs. Pocket 9 is gonna be an easy open. Can't call pot again. Easy fold. Him pot potting there usually means he's a weaker player. I'm actually gonna just check him for as a weaker player for that. That's just not a thing Rex would do there. Even though it's like not that outrageous, I would say, because he has the inherent range advantage. It's just not a size thing a Bragg would use there. So, and here now he min 3-bet, so you know, you can quite easily depict whether someone is a weaker player or not. Just him c-betting pot there kind of let him seem like a weaker player, and no, I'm pretty convinced that he is one. So yeah, the jack 10, what the fuck was that? I mean, it's good to see a random hand. I'm not expecting, because it should mean my call is good, but once he starts value betting all the jack X, I guess my call gets pretty bad. Maybe. Depending on whether he also value bets like 9 10 or pocket 10s then. I mean, is it that far-fetched if he value bets jack 8 that he value bets pocket 10s there? Or like merge it? I don't even know, like I get the 1 notch worse hand and I'm like literally max 10 calling there basically. Should kinda tell you that it's like way too thin. For what it's worth, I would have like all the ace-x suited that play exactly that way. Pretty sure. I might lead the river, but it's similar. No, if like ace-2 suited, I would just check. That's just way too thin. Maybe he was like, like, let's not overcomplicate it. He probably didn't know himself what he was doing. He was clicking buttons, and that's fine. And now he just opened ace-6 suited, ace-6 offsuited UTG, if I've seen that correctly. So yeah, buddy, keep on doing that. Got a 3-bet, hope he shoves. Calls. Flop is extremely terrible, hope he doesn't lead. Please don't lead. Okay, I mean, it's not a hard decision with our hand, but it's still annoying to, like, it's blind on blind with jacks and then we get a flop with 2 overcards. But I'm not gonna call there. Would be pretty bad to call, in my opinion. So yeah, last few hands had been kinda rough. Just give me a good hand again. That's like the thing, you only have a limited amount of hands until this guy busts. Like, pocket jacks was our shot probably in stacking him. And then the flop comes like ace queen. And he leads pot. probably won't get another chance in stacking him, because he's probably gonna get stacked by one of the other guys, and then he's gonna leave the table. So that's why those spots kind of feel more annoying than usually. Because like if the like low card comes, we usually just like quite often stack him. Or we could just stack him pre-flop. King 9 might see a flop, might not, depends what happens. And let's hope the weaker player, oh, I mean, seriously? Like that's a bad beat for us. That's actually a pretty bad beat. Like a weaker player loses having him dominated and now he's not gonna rebuy. Because it probably was the last one he had on here. Yeah. So, gonna defend the King 9 here. Yeah, that's disappointing. But that's the nature of poker. King 9 gonna see a turn. Probably fold on the turn. It's small. I like that. Good, look at this. He already seems like a rag. Just given like opening sizings and c-bet side of things. Pretty good turn. Like a really good turn. Just gonna, I'm not sure. It might be good enough to. We're gonna lead quite big here. Because I think if he has a bluff catcher, he's gonna bluff catch anyways. We're actually gonna overbluff. I think if he has a bluff catcher, he's gonna bluff catch. And if he's not, I kinda doubt he's gonna bluff after snap checking back turn. So we're gonna lead over pot here and hope he has an ace deuce that pot control turn and now calls us down. Wow. Well, that's unlucky. But our read was correct. He did check back a weakish middling ace, which means he gets rid of a lot of one pair ace X's, which I don't think fold. But he just had the one ace that beats us there. Unfortunate spots. But I really like the overbet there. Don't think he ever folds an ace. And if he does, he's like extremely exploitable, but generally people don't. After checking back turn, they just don't find the fold of the ace there, usually. So pretty sure it just totally overperforms the overbet. To be quite fair, we did suck him out first, so can't be too salty about it. But still, it hurts to lose another overbet on river. I'm still more frustrated about the pocket jacks. Those hands really hurt. Ace jack gonna 3-bet quite loosely here, hoping to not face a 4-bet. Anything else is fine. If he folds, that's the best result. If he calls, we can take a flop. King 8 gonna take a multi-way flop here with the suited variant. Gonna just range c-bet my hand here. Can always turn top pair, can always just get a fold. We do turn a blocker. I just don't expect a lot of folds from better hands on this turn, so I'm just gonna check back and realize. And if he checks river, I might consider to overbet bluff on certain cards. I'm assuming he leads his river a lot. And if he doesn't, I'm gonna go ahead and pot it here. Just trying to get him off a weakish pair, like 6s, 7s, ace 5, ace 3, and like ace queen, ace king can easily fold. Maybe even hand like ace 9 folds. I do want to apply maximum pressure to hand like ace 9 or like king 9. Pocket jacks, overpair doesn't fold. That's not too surprising, that's fine. We do block that overpair for what it's worth. Him calling with that is not super surprising. What can you do? We try and we learn. I do like the bluff there, and I do think we should bet relatively big, because I think if we take a medium to middling sizing, that's what I would take with my value, because I think we're gonna get called a lot with a medium sizing. I would assume that a hand like his usually like also could lead to river. Yeah, and I mean him calling with that doesn't make like the bluff bad, because we are not targeting his hand. We're targeting mid-lane pairs. We're targeting better ace highs. I mean, he probably has like every combo of ace king, every combo of ace queen. Then he has like some 9x's in range. That might not fold, right? 9x might not fold, but it could. And then he has like 6s, 7s, 8s get there. 6s, 7s, and like maybe 6-5, maybe ace-5, maybe ace-3. We get him on the chop. So yeah, I think it's a good. I don't think we have to overbet. I wanted to overbet initially, but I thought that like the mid-lane pairs are just gonna fold to a pot size bet as much. And you could argue that like a 75% bet might achieve the same, but I'm not sure that it does. I think the extra bit more pushes our fold equity a bit higher, but I could be wrong about that. It totally depends on the player, and can't really generalize like that. Okay, we are in the big blind now. Oh, yeah, I pressed sit out, but I still got the hand. Okay. Yeah, as always, if you have any questions, any comments, any feedback, post them in the comment section below. Want to talk about any hand, post them on the PokerVIP forums or the YouTube forums. This was Sebastian aka BarberScopeX with part 3 of this video series. I hope you will be back for to part 4. And yeah, see you then. Good luck and have fun in your own sessions. Bye bye.